Hey YouTube, what's going on? Mark here at TGIF, and welcome to video one, part one of two of the 2024 Post-Winter Epilogue. So I decided that, you know what, if I'll clean my room too, but I'm gonna do that off camera, so that way I can get it done faster for myself, and I'm not, piling on too many, videos, to make this whole mini storyline. So part two will be the post-winter dinner with the Fireball Man and his family. But the only thing I care about is that as long as we get it done before the first really nice day of the year takes place for the official premiere of season 3, as spring is in the end, the official 2024 San Diego Ridge premiere, that's all that matters. So what you're about to see is, you're not going to see the whole thing. We're going to finish it off camera on Sunday before the Food City 500 at Bristol. So we're going to make my mom's room look really nice before my sister shows up in town for Sunday night after the race for her Mike Wallace 33rd birthday, along with my niece, who is Steve Park, 1 year old, about to be Rusty Wallace, 2 years old, during the Brook. When did they come in? July 12th. I think that might around the time of the 4th of July Brook Park halfway point of season 4 Fun in the Sun. I don't even know the official date of Brook Park home this year, so only time will tell before the current mayor of Brook Park. It's not that asshole Tom Coyne anymore, thankfully, and Mark Elliott's been out of office for years. It's now this guy named Ed. I don't know his last name, but I'm sure he hasn't figured out if I don't know, but if he doesn't, he has plenty of time to figure that out. So therefore, my soon-to-be niece was gonna be here too. I don't know when.
June 17th is your due date.
Right after season 4 Fun in the Sun starts, I get this 2024 Sandy Ridge redemption. So we're trying to make sure my mom's room looks really nice, so that way my already born niece not tearing shit up like Terry Labonte. So time to rock it like Rob Riggle, even though it's not going to be the whole thing. So here's my mom with the first set of instructions.
Hi everybody. I've been laid up a little bit, and my boy Mark has been helping me. My young man Mark, I should say. He's been helping me graciously, and my room got a little out of control, so he asked me today if we could video us cleaning my room, and I said definitely 2 thumbs up. So I was excited to do this recording for him. So let's get started.
Even though we finished a little bit of it, and you can tell everybody why. You don't have to if you don't want to.
We just had laundry baskets over here in this area. Hand that way, buddy. Over here in this area. And so he helped me put laundry away. Laundry is a personal thing. I don't think everybody needs to see my personal items. So, and that's why we did it off camera.
Okay.
So we're going to start over here in this area now. And Mark's going to hand me the things that are on that dresser. And then we're going to put those away. And then we'll show you what it looks like when we're done.
And there you have it. This is exactly what it looks like, after the fact. Now, this stuff we're going to be doing off camera before the Food City 500 at Bristol and my sister's arrival late Sunday night after the race. But I want to throw in some bonus clips to make the video longer than it needs to be of me hanging up some stuff. All right, here's some of the updated, decorations, that was from the queen of tearing shit up, Abby Sword, Fireball Man's older daughter. When we did when we tried to do a karaoke night twice a week during last year's monstrosity we call season 3 of Fun in the Sun, and goes to this what I'm about to explain to you goes to basically sums up how atrocious last summer was. That never remained consistent, unfortunately. You guys know about these 2 things on my other socials, and that picture I colored during in my early days of ViaQuest, and I refused Jeff Gordon to give up on it until it was finished. And look at that. That was because I was good under pressure, because I can't color nor do art in general for shit. But I think one of my ViaQuest outsider best friends, Amy Saladon, I can't say her last name right. She's my buddy Aaron Kraftcheck, Polar Bear staff. Her and one of my SSA best friends, Jordan Seelig, were in the building at the same time, and I was being good under pressure when I got some of that done. No, it couldn't have been early Fire Quest. No, it had to be like during season 3 of Adventures in Autumn, because that was, and I started getting close to, you know, it was sometime in 2020, the later part, from the later part of early 2023 all the way till Adventures in Autumn season 3. Yeah, that was around the time I started getting close to Jordan, and eventually became besties with her, and then I getting close to Amy and getting best friends with her. So that was from around that time period, and then all the way down here, that was something that was supposed to go up on the wall at Triad when we started this whole shindig in the beginning to when we're like where we're at now. In August 2021, I was supposed to be decorated, but I took it home to decorate, but never came around to it, and we never got to hang it up on the Triad wall because of it. So when I left Triad to finally join ViaQuest, like my family and I wanted in the beginning, I said, "Fuck it, I'll just take it home now to make good use of decorating on my wall, since no sense of keeping it here at work now." So therefore, now look at it, we finally were able to do something with it. Even my door got an upgrade too. This was my name tag on my Triad locker that I decided to take home too, since I wasn't going to be needing to keep it at work no more. Since ViaQuest, of course, does different things than Triad. Every business is different, obviously. As we learned off camera, in a hairy situation. I made that at ViaQuest during the Valentine's Day party. Valentine's Day party. Like, I didn't vlog it. I had some bits and pieces from it. I can't remember where the fuck this is from. And that was during the Let Your Soul Shine photography session during season 3 of Winter Wonderland. So when my friend Molly Devine and that, black lady, what was her name? Oh my god, what was her name? I already forgot. I already fucking forgot. It's not Yvette. I can't fucking remember. Wait a minute. Okay, for some reason I was drawing a blank and I didn't remember at the top of my brain. Okay, Phyllis Ward was the black woman's name. I mean, she didn't look like she was an older woman, but man. So that was from that magical day. I think it was the day after the Jules LeBlanc birthday fiasco, which, Mercedes Lamolino's birthday during that 59-degree winter day in the happy place in Northeast Ohio followed until it started to rain. So next year for season 4 of Winter Wonderland, we're going to be YouTubing that since we know for next time. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to address. I know the other things you didn't get to see this past winter, since we're now talking in the post-winter epilogue, I might as well talk about that. You didn't get to see a fall-winter dinner with the Sorgs, but that's going to be moved to this year, to the post-winter epilogue, when we do the second, next, and final part of this little mini small storyline. I know we didn't get to go to Black Tyler's game, Tyler Brown, one of his games. And there was something else I thought, we didn't get to do. Oh, besides those two things, and then, the Let Your Soul Shine thing doesn't count, obviously, because, we didn't know at the time. So we didn't get to do Tyler Brown's basketball games. We didn't get to do a fall-winter dinner with the Slugs, which obviously will be moved to this post-winter epilogue, but I don't feel like stopping the video to try to remember. So if I happen to remember right when we do part 2 of this post-winter epilogue, then it'll come back to me. But that Tyler Brown basketball game will have to, again, still, be careful by my point still stands. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. It'll come when the time is right. So yeah, so therefore that was from the Let Your Soul Shine, day we had via ViaQuest, a day after Jules LeBlanc's birthday fiasco. So therefore, some decorations. We're finally doing a decorating video after all this time, after the last one. Okay, a picture of my mom when she was younger right here. We've had so many different copies of this picture. It's unbelievable. I decided, we finally got to hang that up and get that shit off my office studio desk. All right, the first thing I'm going to do in real time on camera when it starts decorating it goes, oh, and by the way, the person who gave you this, happiest of birthdays, Angela Cole, Mama Angie. I hate that wasn't able to make one of Braden's basketball games this year after what happened, but next year, of course. And, okay, I remember what exactly the thing we didn't get to do this past winter that we can do next year. Besides going to one of Tyler Brown, aka Black Tyler's basketball games for his team in my old school. We didn't get to do a fall-winter dinner with the Sogs, which, as I've heard mentioned 1,000 times, will be the second and final part of this post-winter epilogue to follow up this first video and part. But we didn't get to do the cooking videos once again with my mom and grandmother with the pesto, and we didn't get to redeem ourselves from the sugar cookie mishap, from, which was the very last episode of season 2, Adventures in Autumn. So now we'll hopefully move to next season. But once again, I'm going to say it for the final time, because this is the finishing touches of season 3 of Winter Wonderland before we sweep it under the rug and put it in the rearview mirror. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. I know you guys were disappointed in not seeing all that content I mentioned just now in the fall winter months. Or I know what I mentioned in the season 3 finale of Winter Wonderland, the 3-day feature. Link in the description. We're going to go look at that. But next year will get here when it gets here. Let's not rush through the seasons, because warm weather is around the corner. It's almost here. So don't soak it in while you can. And when it's actually here, do not take it for granted, because if you do either one of those things, guess what? By the time when Adventures in Autumn gets here, we start transitioning from warm weather to cold weather, and then potentially, a lot of people, including myself, getting sick like every other year. Well, except for that, Easter weekend where I was sick last year and I couldn't do anything. Let me see if I can get this. Pretty soon, before you know it, you're gonna be nervous as hell. Like, oh no, the warm weather's going away. Where I'm gonna be so sad because the Sandy Ridge finale. It's November, the week after the Checker Auto Parts 500 at Phoenix Championship race, and then if we get a walk-off finale, it's going to be like mid to upper 60s, like a week before Thanksgiving. That shit comes up on you fast, like a bat out of hell. And then before you know it, after Thanksgiving, guess what? Winter Wonderland kick off for December 1st. And then you guys are going to be bitching about the cold again. So therefore, I mean, you're probably going to be happy to see the content. There we go. But at the same time, you're going to wish you never rushed through what the fantastic spring it looks like we're going to get, based on the success of the preseason, and hopefully we'll be a better summer than 2023. So therefore, soak it in while you can, with warm weather almost here. And when it gets here, do not take it for granted, because then guess what? We're going to be bitching about the cold again next season, waiting for it to come back for season 4, spring is in the air, and season 5 of Fun in the Sun. Anyway, I finally figured out how to get these stickers off. We're going to hang these up one by one. Okay. They're all not going to go together. No, that wouldn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Okay, I don't care if there's... hang on. Straighten out, you parked at a bad angle. Cue the crew chief voice in Papyrus, NASCAR Racing 4, NASCAR Racing 2002, and NASCAR Racing 2003. That's more like it. So, therefore, not all of that is going to go next to each other, because then it'll confuse the shit out of a bunch of people who come down here once we finally get this area all cleared away. To have whenever I have company over, gatherings for NASCAR races or San Antonio Spurs basketball games. If we're able to only get this area cleaned up and get cable down here. But what if we want to do Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy episodes down here in the future when I have the equipment, recording and the gameplay elements to do so? So, therefore, I don't want people to get confused with the same details right next to each other. But eventually, this will get cleaned away. We'll do a YouTube video, and then as far as getting cable down here goes, we're not going to worry about that until further notice. So that's going to take a long ass while before we ever get cable down here again. You can only see part of it here, but this whole wall I plan to decorate with a shitload of NASCAR stuff. And after I put all this stuff up, before I put the last thing I want to put up on camera, in between the last NASCAR sticker getting hung up, there's only 3 of them for Earnhardt or Dylan. So after I hang all the last 2 of these up, and before I put the last thing on camera up, I'm going to show you in between those 2 scenes. I'm going to show what I'm going to put on the wall, like on the left side of the storage room, which is the lab / it basically combines every element from La Vida Lab Rat season 1 through 3, and then season 4 Bionic Island, and then Elite Four. So I use the storage room for like where the lab is in the La Vida Lab Rat fanfics, but that's a whole another tangent for another day, another video, another time. So I feel like this would be the perfect place to put this. We're gonna scatter this all around. Well, maybe not scatter because there's not enough for scattering over here. So we're gonna put this right here. Straighten out. You parked at a bad angle. Okay. Look at that. That looks good. Now I got to figure out where I'm going to put that last one. All right, I figured out where I'm going to put the last one, so it's not like, you know, all piled up on top of each other. We're going to put it up there, but be careful we don't knock any shit over here. And if I do, then I'll just fix that off camera. I don't need to fucking show that. No, straighten it out. Come on. Okay. That's better. Now I'm going to show you guys the aftermath and what I plan to do with the rest of this wall, as well as the wall, you know, next to the storage room, the left side of the storage room, which I'm going to, when we go back up to the suites, I'm going to wrap to the video. I'm also going to show you what's going to be the second, well, this left side of the wall. No, let me show you. Hold on. All right, look at the aftermath. I wanted to put a Brett Bodine picture there, but back up with Todd's, but I can't find it anywhere. Okay, there it is. Okay, the Sunoco, and that spot belongs to Terry Labonte's page in the NASCAR 2002, book to, the NASCAR used to do all those programs, get ready for, and at the end of every Winston Cup series, get us ready for the new season. And then, okay, here. So Angie Cole gave us that. Monica Lane gave us that back in last non-COVID year. So, therefore, what I plan to do is decorate this whole wall with NASCAR stuff. That way it looks cooler when this shit gets all cleared away. We somehow get cable down here. That way the whole man cave looks good when we have company for gatherings and parties, NASCAR races, Spurs games. Or when we do Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy episodes down here, because it's the only place where I plan to have it. And so this wall right here is going to be full of retired Duncan jerseys I no longer use. Instead of like giving them away and throwing them in the trash, then I'm going to do like a retired jerseys, segment. There's going to be another part of this in my suite, or I'm going to show you that at the end of the video. Okay, there's a couple Earnhardt pictures, the Dale Sr. Jr. Bud Shootout, promo pic that Steve Lucky gave to me as a Christmas or birthday gift, 2001 going into 2002 when I lived in Mexico, I believe it was. When we came home back to the States temporarily in the Sandhurst house to celebrate Christmas, there's an Intimidator picture with Earnhardt in his dark shades and open face helmet. You can't see that very well. Well, that's all going to go on this wall. And me and my grandfather are going to do a video on here on the channel. It'll be a few of his many appearances on the channel because he's going to partially headline the Broke Park documentary of when after my dad's family died, of the family is done telling their story, origins of how they got to Ohio to begin with. Then we're going to have my grandfather and talk about how he started in Puerto Rico and came to Ohio and met my grandmother, and then they moved to Sally before, and then had my mom. They moved to Sandhurst and go from there. And that's where it really starts getting good, where the family starts piling in. I'm out with my mom and dad's side. My mom meeting my dad, them getting married in 1989, and then all that other stuff. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I know you guys are looking forward to that whenever it starts, but I think I'm going to put the Bud Shootout photo right there, I think, maybe. And maybe the Dale Senior pick, the Intimidator pick, can go right there because there's enough room for it to fit if we're the size it is. So therefore, I already got it all planned out. There's going to be more to come in this collection. Eventually this is going to be a full finished product. I have assigned, shelves for like certain drivers and whatnot, and I plan to put another one that fits right there too, where whatever doesn't fit on there with all my favorite drivers, past, present, old, new, then we'll put it on all that stuff on the shelf that I want to put there. But the last thing I wanted to tell you guys is, hold on. I think over here in the corner by the retired Spurs jerseys, I still have my Juan Pablo Montoya jacket from when he was in NASCAR in the Target Chevy. When I lived on Sandhurst, the Sandhurst, more of my time rooting for Montoya was spent on Sandhurst than it was Lenore. So therefore, I want to frame the Montoya jacket, hang it up right there. That way people know that even though he wasn't all that good in NASCAR, I had the honor of cheering for one of the best racers of all time in general. Well, other than NASCAR, obviously. He was one of the best to ever do it, just not NASCAR. So now let's go hang up that last thing and, I'll wrap it up. I know the office studio is messy, but oh, I forgot that one thing from ViaQuest I was going to hang up in my little, work hall of fame there with all my major accomplishments and some of the important memories. So I got ViaQuest Client of the Month in September around Razel's birthday. So I have to find a place to put it, but I'm going to do that away from this video. I don't have to show that to you. So therefore, see this section? This is where all the Labonte Bodine brothers, Petty Enterprise stuff in general, outside of Cal Petty's going to go. Well, it goes right now. I still have more to add to it because I want to do Bobby, Terry, Richard, Kyle. If I can get a Bobby bottle, that would be great. I can want Bobby, Terry, Richard, Kyle, right? And then John Andretti, because he rest in peace. That was Kyle Petty's old teammate. Now, if I get a Brett or a Todd bottle, then this is where the Labonte Bodine brothers, Petty Enterprise shelf is going to go. I highly doubt I'm going to fit another shelf right there, even next to it, for all the general stuff involving them, because it doesn't look like a big enough space. So, therefore, and this is my case where a bunch of memorabilia from my favorite drivers, old, new, past, present, active, non-active, retired, go. So, that's going to hopefully one day be a finished product too. All right, the last thing I'm going to put up, and I'm going to put it up right here below Austin's, 2022 Pepsi Firecracker 400 victory little sticker that came with a die cast. I got it my last MIS trip. If you want to look at that, we'll link in the description. And of course, the Ty Dillon Fort Petty Enterprises Gain thing that came with the Gain diecast I found by luck of the draw. I get to put this Ty 77 Spire Motorsports sticker there. It's good that Spire's finally improving. But they're putting more of their eggs in the Corey LaJoy, Carson Hocevar basket more than the Zane Smith basket. And two, why couldn't this shit be the case when Ty was with the team? So that way Ty could have done some stuff with it too. It made me happy. Hopefully one day he'll make it back to the Winston Cup series and have a little finally get it going. And hopefully get at least that first elusive first Cup Winston Cup win. Before he eventually gets too burnt old and burnt out to he'd raise the point where he's gonna have to retire because not everybody can do this shit forever. So therefore, I wanted him to win a race in the Germain Geico Chevrolet before that team shut down, and he came closer to winning in that car more times than Casey Mears or Max Pappas ever did. Especially as a rookie in 2017, the MBNA Platinum 400, where eventually, considering he was not only 20 laps away from winning that on speed, pulling off an upset, but eventually the faster cars caught up to him. Johnson, what should have been Ty Dillon's first Winston Cup win, ended up being Jimmy Johnson's last ever Winston Cup win. So Johnson, Larson, Truex all caught up. And Ty was on track for a fourth place finish, right? Or on that green-white checker restart when they had that stupid overtime line rule, the version there, it was on the exited the back straight going to turn 3, and before they have enough people, including myself, complained and bitched, and now moved into the start finish line for when they take the white flag, he ends up getting wrecked, and then that ended the race too early. And adding insult to injury, Austin, a week after his first ever win the Coke 600, also was in the top 10 too. It looked like it was going to be a top 10 for both my boys, Austin and Ty. Austin would have probably would have finished 10. Ty would have finished 4th, and Austin was in that wreck too, to the point where I got so pissed off I wanted to break this damn TV. But my dad would have killed me, because if anyone was going to kill me, because he's the one that bought me this TV when we moved into this house in 2015. I think it'd be different from everyone else as a Vizio, where I don't know what order, but one TV is always ahead of the other. Like, we had the whole Oliveira's over for when the Cavs won the championship in 2016, because it was something that the state of Ohio and the Cleveland sports had been waiting for 50 plus years, especially with the Cavs, going ringless in 50 some years. My family, all my real life friends here in Ohio had a field day, but a lot of them were very obnoxious too. It's like all of a sudden they get glorious, they have a magical season, and they act like they're better than everyone else. Like, they like all great teams that came by were great before they ever were relevant to begin with. Like I always say, one magical season does not define one franchise, especially a franchise during a total existence that is neither feast or famine one year after the other. Like, the one year the Cavs were fighting for playoff contention, the next year they were fighting for a lottery pick. And yet San Antonio, on our hand, was, always in the hunt every year, like kicking ass, winning games, competing for championships. Even in the years they came up empty-handed, the Cavs never really did all that every year. And, like, even my real-life friends were being so obnoxious, and they were, like, trashing me, like, not trashing me, trashing, my team, and kind of me a little bit, because of the fact that, I was on an island all by myself as the only non-Cavs fan here in Ohio, and that was awkward as hell. And they were trashing me and my team like, they were better, they've always been better than us. Like, no, fuck out of here. San Antonio, as far as basketball goes, will always be greater than Cleveland over me. And I say that as an Ohioan myself that has called Ohio home almost my entire life, even living in Michigan for as long as I did in Mexico for a whole season. But enough rambling about that 2015-16 season of the obnoxious Cavs fans that act like they were all the shit because of their one magical season and shit. Let's just hang this shit up and be done with it. They're acting like, we were, the San Antonio and me were, like, dog water and compared to them, just in that one season, just because they were there and we weren't, but that's sports for you. When you have a huge passion for a sport, you tend to get into, like, heated debates and arguments like that, like in the heat of the moment, because at the end of the day, it's just sports. It shouldn't be taken personally, and it shouldn't, damage or break friendships or relationships and family. So I just put that Ty Dillon thing up. I'll show you how it looks. And there you have it. This is what the office studio where I used to come to watch my shows before I got burnt out for doing that shit. And I come down here to watch the Spurs games and the NASCAR races. And the last thing I wanted to show you guys is this is where whatever retired Spurs jerseys do not fit in that section I showed you, retired Duncan jerseys, the rest of them will fit here and vice versa. Okay, a couple of extras I want to share before I wrap it up. My girlfriend's messaging me, so I have to rush the outro. So the picture of when I met Tim Duncan a month after my Matt Kenseth or Mario Ellie Brent Berry's 17th birthday, I want to put right here. I want to put that right there. I don't know what the fuck I did with it, but if I ever am lucky to find it, then I'll put it there. And then that Tim Duncan pendant from his rookie season when I moved on to West 122nd in 1998. Newsflash, everybody. My entire memory lied to me this whole time. My mom told me we moved to West 122nd in early 1998, not 97. So Duncan was already in the middle of his rookie year. But when I started becoming a fan, regular season. So for those who, want to accuse me of being a bandwagon just because they got Duncan and started winning, well, you're incorrect. You should know the story how I became a Spurs fan with that, donut repair club with the pink box named Duncan. It just happened to be right after I moved to Western 22nd in the middle of Duncan's rookie season. So that should prove there's proof that I became a fan just because of a random reason that turned out to be a funny, interesting story. So that pendant I had on Western 22nd, which was the same year I got that autographed jersey that we decided to frame for what was then my Duncan or Elliott Sadler 21st birthday in 2015, that my mom and dad, mistakenly and wrongfully hid in my closet on Sanders as we were getting ready to leave to come here. When I was going in there for a different reason, I found that, and they should have done a better job at hiding that from me, but oh well. At least we got that situated. But that Tim Duncan pendant from his rookie season, if I find it, is going to go right there. So this is where how I plan to decorate the house in the future before everything becomes a finished product. This I have to figure out, where I'm going to put that. I think I might put that with the RCRD ice shelf. This is the Via Quest, newsletter where I got an individual of the month. I'll put that in my Hall of Fame, my work Hall of Fame section I showed you. See, this is no, I'm going to save that for another video. This game show stuff is not going to be here for long. That's going to be on my RCRD ice shelf. So with this photo, I can fit it there. And part 1 of the Post-Winter Epilogue is in the books. Part 2 will be whenever Fireball Man and Debbie decide to reschedule our post-winter dinner. So, but as long as they schedule it before it starts really, really heating up for real, before the official season 3 premiere, spring is in the air, aka the official 2024 Sandy Ridge premiere, for it to make sense in the story of the saga and the timeline. That's all I care about. So therefore, so tomorrow will be season 3, episode 3 of Poker Game Night. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. I'll see you for tomorrow's video. And for as far as this post-winter epilogue goes, I will see you for part 2 whenever we decide, whatever Fireball Man and Debbie goes. As soon as I find out from them when they want to, do it, as long as they do it at the time before it starts really getting nice, then I'll immediately pass it along to you and we'll go from there. And then that's when you'll see that video to end off this little storyline. So to be continued. See you later, everyone.